Hey everybody, welcome to Turner Truck and Tractor. My name is Les. I'm glad I'm here with you today. And today I'm going to take the Weber Smoky Mountain and do something with it I've never done before, and that's take a brisket point and make chopped brisket out of it. So I look forward to that and hope you stay around, and let's get started. All right, I've got the 22-inch Weber Smoky Mountain, and I've used quite a bit, and I like it a lot, and how it works. It's just so simple, and that's what I like about it, and easy to work with. And today I'm going to use this charcoal from our local grocery store, HEB, and it is I guess the mesquite infused charcoal, and we will see how that works. So I have great hopes for it. To get it started, I took off the center section and the lid, and mine's attached because of the hinge. And I've got the lower charcoal grate, and then I've got my starter, and then inside I put one of those wax lighter cubes in there to get the charcoal started. So what I'm going to do is take charcoal out of the bag and put it around there, and then some in here and get started. To get it started, I took off the center section and the lid, and mine's attached because of the hinge. And I've got the lower charcoal grate, and then I've got my starter, and then inside I put one of those wax lighter cubes in there to get the charcoal started. So what I'm going to do is take charcoal out of the bag and put it around there, and then some in here and get started. Oh, today must be my lucky day. Always have heck with these, and look at this today. That never happens. All right, this is the first step, and I've got it in the charcoal starter, and I don't even fill it completely full, but I like to put it in here because if I make a mess, it just catches it and no big problem. And it leaves a hole right there, so I'm gonna pour the charcoal in the rest of this right here, and it'll leave like a donut effect. And then once I light this, I'll put the lit charcoals right there in the middle. All right, I've used almost the entire bag on this. All right, well, let's go ahead and get it lit. You always need good help and supervision, and here's mine. All right, I'll put the center section back on, and now I'm gonna light that wax starter. I just got it lit and set it right back in there, and let those coals get hot, and then we'll go ahead and dump that starter in a little bit. This is the brisket point that I will be using today. And yeah, I know it's not $1.99 like it used to be. Nothing else is either. And that's a shame. Cleanliness is the word of the day. And so I just rinsed this off and patted it dry with a paper towel. And now I'm going to take a knife such as this and just look for any thick fat deposits or anything that I don't like right there. We're going to trim that off and make sure the fat is about a 1/4 inch thick, and this is the fat side up right now. I've got it turned around so that way I can show you. This is a great example. Since it's not a full packer brisket, you can see how thick that fat is right there. And we're going to shave some of this off right here and make it uniform, about a 1/4 inch thick. We are back on the patio, and this is what we want to see. Is a few red coals and some smoke flowing. All right, we will let that sit for a few more minutes and get started. Here is the brisket point, all trimmed up, and I just wanted to show a profile of what I did, and just shaved just a little bit of the fat off this to get it about a 1/4 inch, give or take, plus or minus. All right, and now we're getting to the point of the rub. Here's a couple that I like, but there's a whole bunch I like. But you can't go wrong with just the basic salt, pepper, and garlic as well. And then the Lowry's seasoned salt with black pepper is another one of my favorites, along with the chupacabra rub. For our next step, I'm going to use a binder. I'm going to use mustard in this case, but I've seen people use oil to put on it, or just even pat it down and use water. I've done that, and that's one of my favorites and go to as well. I've even seen someone, and I will not mention their name, but I know them closely, that they've even sprayed it with Pam and then put the brisket rub on it. So today we're going to use mustard. Let's get all of it. Looking good. All right, I'm going to turn that over, and that'll now be the bottom. All right, more of the same. Oh, that pepper got to me there. Don't be bashful here. This is not the place to go cheap either. Oh, that looks good. We're getting there. All right, let's go check the charcoals. All right, it's getting started like we wanted it. And so I'm going to go ahead and assemble the rest of it, which all that is I'm going to put the water pan, a little bit of water, and the top grate in, and we are getting closer to showtime. This is the oversized water pan that I've got in there. It's stainless steel, and it's just aftermarket that you can get at the store or online. But the original Weber one looks just like it, but it's in black and just a little bit smaller. Now I'm going to go ahead and put some water in it. All right, I'm going to use a pitcher to fill this up, but I've even seen people use a garden hose. I've never done that. I don't know, just the thought of it. Be careful when doing so, because that steam can injure somebody really quick. All right, put one or two more pitchers in it. This is the second pitcher, and it gave me the thought. I've used beef broth. I've even spiked it with apple cider vinegar, and really can't tell much difference. So for the time and trouble, I think water is the way to go. All right, I just got through putting water in the water pan. Take a look. And I put approximately 8 quarts, or what, 2 gallons that equals. And let me get out of the way of smoke, because you know smoke follows beauty. So you may be asking, you know, why put water in something you got to fire? And that's a really great question. So as you know, water boils at 212. So really the temperature can't get above that. So as long as you've got water in there, that helps moderate your temperature. So as long as the cook surface is in between 225 to 275, I don't care. As long as it's right in between there, I'm good to go. Some people like to hover it between 225 and 250, but I'm not quite that particular on it. But this helps cut out spikes in temperature and temperature fluctuations, because it acts as a heat sink. And so that's one of the nice features of the Weber Smoky Mountain. If you don't want it, you can take it out, but it will burn a lot hotter, and you will get temperature fluctuation. So I'm a fan of it, and plus it just adds the moisture to it. So that's why Weber designed it that way, and I'm a big fan of it. On the stick burners and other burners that don't have water, you will see some cooks and grill masters, if you will, get a pan of water and put in the back. So look for that in their videos. So, they, acknowledge that it does work to a degree. I'm gonna add just a little bit of Pam to the grate so that way the meat doesn't stick, and hopefully it makes cleanup just a little bit easier. And even though we're not gonna use all of the grill grate area, I'm gonna spray it because I think it helps with the cleanup. And that is the original grate to this grill. All right, there we go. Let's go get the brisket point. This is the setup right now. So I've got the brisket on the Weber Smoky Mountain, added the temperature probes to it, one for the grate, one for the brisket itself, and they go to this temperature monitor. And I don't know if you can see that, but the brisket itself is reading 66 degrees Fahrenheit, and the grill itself is about 308. And then I've got a monitor that I will have inside the house, and we will monitor this as it goes along. So everyone take a look, because you don't want to keep looking, because if you're looking, you're not cooking. So let's say goodbye to it for a while. So far, so good, and I will tell you that handling just that brisket point is so much easier than a whole packer brisket. Plus, I'm looking forward to it that it doesn't take, half the time to do it. Instead of, a day and a half, I hope to maybe just invest 3/4 of a day into this. So let's take a look and see how we're going so far. It's just been about 5 minutes since we put it on, and you can see the smoke at this point. And here's our temperature readings, about 316 on the grill and 88 internal on the brisket. And so I have got the air inlet vents closed all the way around. This top one completely open, and I will do the entire cook with this entirely open the whole time. That does not change. So if I need to moderate the temperatures, it's always controlled by the air inlet. If it gets too hot, I shut this off. If the temperatures drop below 225, you open it up. And here's the Weber thermometer. Take it for what it's worth. It's probably about 280, we'll call it. And on the forums, there's, back and forth to how accurate they are. Plus, it's just in the top of this lid. So this is the hottest part, actually, as heat rises. So we've got the other probe on this side of the grate and the other one inside of the brisket itself. And so I will go back and clean up the kitchen. If anybody wants to sponsor this with paper towels like Brawny, you will go through a lot of them, or if you're like me. So I will talk to you later. Good afternoon, everyone. I thought I would give you a status update, and let's check things out. It's about 2 hours since we started, and it's about 95 degrees here on the back patio. And since we started, here's my remote version that I keep with me in the house. And the grill itself shows to be about 225 degrees, and the brisket point is about 142 degrees. And then there's the Weber thermometer, and it's reading, maybe about 220 or so. So it's still within the range that I'm looking for. I'd like it to be just a little bit warmer, but I'm not going to touch it. If anything, I could open up one of the vents there at the bottom. So we're about 2 hours into this. The brisket point itself is about 5 pounds. So my estimate is should take about 6 hours, but then after that, you need to let it rest an hour or two. So we will check in later. I came out here to check on everything and noticed that the temperature had dropped, And I never have gotten it over, 230 this whole cook, which I'm a little bit surprised. So I came out here and I've got problems with my charcoal. What little I had left in the bag must have blown over. So I'm gonna pick that up and go ahead and put it in the smoker and see if I can get those temperatures up. But I've already put the rest of the bag in there. So in that regard, I'm a little disappointed that it doesn't burn very hot or very long so far that I'm finding out. So I don't know, I might have to finish this up in the oven, which I have never had to do before. So I will get back with you and we'll see how it goes. Okay, it's been a couple of minutes since I put in the rest of that charcoal, clean that up there, and every bit that I could actually pick up, I put in the Weber Smoky Mountain. And right now, I'm not too happy with the way the process is going or that charcoal. It didn't get very hot or last very long. So far that HEB with the mesquite infused charcoal is not a win in my book. So if it doesn't take off here in a second, it's going into the oven. The other thing I did was just turn this just a little bit into the breeze. Hopefully, in the attempts of getting more air in the inlet there. So we'll give it a few more minutes, maybe up to 30, and we'll see how it goes. All right, I'll check in with you later. You can see that it's at 2:04, and it is now 8:44. So about 8 hours later, which is much too long. So it's been in the oven at 275 for several hours now. And just make sure it's probe tender. Thank you for watching Turner Truck and Tractor, and I appreciate you staying this long. And I'm going to show you my secret barbecue sauce recipe. I'll put it on the screen. It's just a reward for you staying so long, and I do appreciate you that much. So again, thank you for watching, like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Take care.